What's going on, Beast Nation? Alright, so I did one of these reactions before on CinamaSins, alright? Speaking of the CinamaSins, okay, their link will be below. Please go check them out at their channel and please subscribe to them because they deserve it, alright? I did it with iRobot. I didn't really agree with them because I liked iRobot, so I was biased as fuck. And I did not see Legend of Tarzan because in the trailers, I knew in the trailers it wasn't going to be from the original movie. So I'm like, it's not this. If it was like from the original movie, like they did in Jungle Book, like basically almost everything was the same, then yeah, I would have saw it. But everything was different. I didn't understand the trailer, so I was like, yeah, I'm not going to go see this movie. So I don't have no problem with them bashing on the movie because obviously I didn't see it. I didn't have too much hopes for it, and I heard this sucked. So let's see what they got. Let's see what they are rolling with. Wow, 15 minutes or less.
Almost a full minute of reading, goddammit, in a Tarzan movie, in case you confused it with the North American Congo. This white guy invading Africa wore a white suit to further emphasize his whiteness. But he's carrying a Catholic rosary-type necklace thing, so clearly he's a good guy, I think. Unless he's a priest. What? Did I say that? I don't think I did.
Ready, sir!
Shouting that you are ready so your enemy knows your status and position. One spear comes out of the fog, they fire, and seconds later dozens of natives can be seen lying on the rocks. And my point is, goddamn that fog cleared quickly. No one notices this obvious breathing tube bamboo bullshit, because no one is paying attention but me apparently. Ah, sudden crucifixions! This apparent indigenous leader is wearing a leopard print costume that looks like it came from Party City. These white-faced Africans are so good at surprise attacking heavily armed soldiers, you'd think they f***ing trained for it, or expected it, or read the script and knew it needed some added attention. The Opar warriors decide not to kill this man because he is clearly Academy Award winner Christoph Waltz, and must be an important character in this story. Tarzan 300. That this f***ing old dude would be this good at fighting after he hid like a bitch during the real fight. I feel bad for Jaimon Hunsu, because he's almost always cast as either the villain or the super African guy, and neither role really does his acting ability justice.
Chief Bonga, I presume?
Wait, f***ing what? You knew the name of this tribe's chief, but instead of trying to open talks, you just let all your men be slaughtered?
How do you know my name?
How do you know English?
There is one thing I desire above all else.
Top billing?
Bring him to me, and you shall have your diamonds.
I can defeat you and your troops easily, yet I still think you stand a better chance against Tarzan than I do for some reason.
All I need is a name.
Cool movie moment just before the Tarzan title screen, but still, you need way the f more than a name, dude. You need a description, a location, a general rundown on skills and previous attacks. Did you really have to include a little circle R registered trademark on this movie's title screen? Because if you did, I'm not sure if I'm more upset at you or US trademark law, but either way, it's overly obvious and stupid as f. Not to be confused with London, West Virginia. Wait, there's actually a London, West Virginia? Well, f. Utter fucking waste of Jim Broadbent. Here's Samuel L. Jackson, cracking walnuts conspicuously and continuing his streak of appearing in every fucking movie ever made.
Let me explain the Africa situation.
Strap in, everyone. This may take a while.
You are Tarzan, Lord of the Apes, King of the Jungle.
Wait, is this a fucking sequel? Why didn't anyone tell me? This changes nothing.
Please send my apologies to His Serene Highness.
Movie wants me to believe Tarzan isn't going back to Africa, even though the trailer showed me he does indeed go back, which makes this some bullshit, time-wasting bullshit right here. You can tell it's England because of how much it's
Wait,
rated.
this is a
Even
sequel?
in this live-action movie's flashbacks,
No wonder I
Tarzan's
didn't
parents
get it.
managed to build an absolute palace in the treetops of Africa where they crash-landed, because Tarzan's parents are Jesus-level carpenters.
I've done all I can to protect them.
Except not bring them to Africa. Also, he either brought an infant, a pregnant wife, or knocked her up after being stranded in the jungle. None of those are good ideas.
The jungle consumes everything.
Except English babies, obviously.
Today, I buried my Alice.
I guess he buried his Alice, went up to the treehouse to write the diary entry, and came back down to grieve/die by gorilla? You brought your ape baby on this raid? The f for? Oh, so it's not a sequel. It's a reboot masquerading as a sequel, but doing the reboot stuff in the flashbacks.
You know what? That's why I'm confused by it. That's why I didn't watch the movie.
We hear Jane teaching the kids about the power of the hippo, because later in the movie she will be attacked by a hippopotamus.
How many children would you have now?
Somehow this movie managed to top Anakin and Padme for insipid couples dialogue.
How many courses does a diplomat bring?
I can't take you.
Movie again wastes time on some bullshit we know will be overturned shortly, because the movie literally has nothing new to offer save a few extra corsets.
The last thing you need is more stress.
Yeah, and leaving her here at home alone while you go would never cause her any stress, right?
Hybridizing coconuts and playing ping pong.
Pretty goddamn sure no one in the 1800s called it ping pong. It was table tennis or nothing. In fact, I just Googled it, and while the film takes place in roughly
he doesn't even look
1890,
like a
the term
Tarzan.
ping pong wasn't
Tarzan
invented
should have
until the very
dreads.
end of the century.
Trying to keep me here won't work.
20 minutes in, and this Tarzan movie is basically an episode of Parenthood. You can take the boy out of the jungle, but you can't take the raw egg drinking jungle technique out of the... Wait, what the fuck? Also, this movie couldn't have happened to a more likable Skarsgård. I was happier in Africa cliche. Also, that's a real crisp image for an 1880s photograph. Honest question, aren't there no horses? How in the ever-loving did anyone in Africa in early 1890s manage to make this banner? Just... what? Keeping a CGI crocodile as a pet. Also, acting shocked by the train full of ivory when you literally have a slave holding an umbrella for you. You thought the ivory trade was bad today. Well,
your king's payment was due 3 months ago.
I tried that trick with my student loans once. Didn't work. I feel like this happy reunion would carry more weight if we had a first movie telling the origin story and this was a sequel about the return. Instead, this movie is trying to be both, and this reunion just feels weirdly formal and forced.
No one has entered until he returned.
And if you'd never returned, we were prepared to eternally waste this very useful large shelter. Also, we thought that if you did return, you'd prefer to see it wasted away, abandoned, and totally messy as as opposed to seeing it neat and tidy, or having been useful to others in your absence.
This movie is garbage. I haven't seen it. I'm just watching this. This movie is trash.
This is just like The Ghost in the Darkness, only with fewer deadly lions and more Sam Jackson. Sometimes I look back on the last few years of my life, and I'm just grateful to be doing a job where I get to write and then narrate utterly bonkers sentences like that one. On average, a full-grown male gorilla weighs about 350 pounds, making it quite difficult for them to use vines to Spider-Man-style swing through the jungle. They would pull those vines right out of the trees.
Since no man ever started with less.
Wait, what?
Stop making
He was born
sense!
In Africa, his parents died, and then a magically generous ape female took him as her own son and raised him, before he'd go on to inherit massive wealth. I agree, the loss of his parents is tragic, but plenty of men have started with less. Symbolism aside, it's literally impossible by the laws of physics for her to be this well lit from behind without us being able to see anything around or in front of her. Let's right here, in the ruins of your childhood home. 37 minutes in, still no Tarzaning. Also, hey, you just made love in a bed in a house no one has entered in a decade or more. Exactly how much disease do you have now? I mean, those sheets are toxic at this point, right? Oh well, whatever. Love conquers all, and the man who can take on full-grown gorillas and leopards is thwarted by a group of regular humans. Tarzan hasn't chewed through this netting yet to go rescue his wife he currently sees being abused.
Must have been something the first moment you saw her, after all the negresses and baboons.
Super racist, dude. Do you not watch CinemaSins? Oh no, we're being shot at. Quick, let's all stand here. He tells Jane he needs her to scream, she spits on him, and then he says it's no big deal. Tarzan will come for her regardless, which makes me wonder who thought the spitting scene was ultimately necessary. Oh, I'm really sad that guy's dead, but who's that guy again? I think I'm gonna barf.
If you had just... If I had just what? Left you in England in your castle?
Well, yes. Fucking yes. If you'd done that, neither of our two gorgeous white lead actors would be in trouble right now. Movie delights in an excessive flamingo butchery scene, because movie is a grade A dick face. Amazing CGI butterfly of hopefulness.
You do know that the right side of your mustache is just a little lower than the left.
This is obviously a psychological attack on Jane's part, but damn it if she's not right. Movie saves money by borrowing B-roll from Medicine Man. Yes, I did just reference the Sean Connery disaster Medicine Man. Is my critique less on point because of it? No, it is not. If we spin the camera enough, maybe no one will notice how CGI this shit is. Tarzan movie waits until the 50-minute mark to even begin attempting to Tarzan. And he finds that this snow-free, Snowpiercer bullshit fight would be entertaining if I could figure out why not one of these armed soldiers even tries firing a gun at him. Oh, that guy shot a gun, roughly 10 seconds too late. I would take back my previous sin, but I still think it kinda stands.
Those are some mighty big earlobes you got there, son.
That guy's earlobes are actually quite small, and certainly not large enough to warrant this comment, which tells me no one checked the script for accuracy between the table read and the casting of extras. Huzzah for cheap filmmaking standards. This is some Pocahontas right here. Guess she painted with all the colors of the wind or something? Tarzan survives this. First of all, wasn't that a dream? Second of all, Tarzan gets beat to hell by a gorilla, then carried to a healing building by the natives, and even if this is an extended flashback, how does this movie think it has time for this? Supposed jungle fine dining setup does not include salt and pepper shakers. No seasoning for you.
My priest purchased it for me in Jerusalem.
This movie looks...
Sounds like you and your priest were awfully close.
Religious pedophilia jokes about the Catholic Church were all the rage in the 1890s. Duh.
Where'd you pass the pepper?
There's no pepper on this table, but still, he gets up and finds some. He imprisons her just long enough to get the pepper, and then releases her wrist, because this guy is f***ing with her, or with us, the viewers. But honestly, at this point, it doesn't matter. I'm rooting for the cheetahs.
But everyone can relate to a low-born scrapper.
Movie takes a great actor and totally Hayden Christensen's him.
What did Tarzan do?
Killed his only son.
Is this girl even on Tarzan's side? Why the f*** is she just volunteering information to
Tarzan
this obvious
has a
asshat?
son.
And get ready, because that is nothing compared to what he will do to you.
Discount recently showered Lindsay Lohan is right. Tarzan's gonna f*** you up worse than Brad Pitt did, yo. If you need an evil, handsome man to have an unsettlingly civilized meal with a woman he's terrorizing, Christoph Waltz is your guy.
I never left a friend in trouble. Or pardon the lurch, I'm not about to start now.
Yeah, but what's in your wallet?
So how you want to play this thing?
Their leader will come down, and we'll fight.
That's exactly how Chris and I settle our disputes. My wife just informed me that this is a good movie now. Well, watching this fight makes me want to immediately apologize to Marvel movies for my constant ripping on their over-edited close-up fight scenes. Jesus, this is incomprehensible. Again, how do the modern Rise, Dawn, Apes movies
How did he
get
fight
apes
a gorilla
so right,
getting
only for
attacked
all
by
other movies
3
involving
men
apes
like
to
the guy
get the
just
apes
said?
so wrong and fakey?
This bite gets infected, you're gonna have problems.
Because up until now, we've had no problems.
You aren't going anywhere until we get this stitched up.
By ants! Also, they didn't show his wounds being cleaned or sterilized, so the rest of this movie is about Tarzan's superpower of not dying from certain infection.
Are you eating them?
Tastes like bacon.
Ooh.
Ladies and gentlemen, comedy. No one will be seated during the elephants show up for no reason whatsoever scene, aka fantastic beasts and how to use them to pad your runtime. Not that I feel qualified to share any kidnapping tips, but why not chain her up somewhere inside the boat? Chekhov's hippopotamuses. Oh, shocker. Now you seed me his way out of this cage. I'm utterly I'm sorry. I can't keep this ruse up. I'm not really surprised by any of this. Hungry, hungry hippo. Oh great, she's run smack into the apes, whose leader just fucking trounced Tarzan. Awesome. How much you want to bet Tarzan shows up and saves her? This ballsy evil bastard walks toward the apes, and somehow doesn't get torn to shreds, or eaten, or anything that might keep him from appearing in the film's finale, even though these same apes just beat the hell out of Tarzan himself. Whatever, movie, you suck balls.
Promise you won't hurt them.
Why in the
You
name of
are
stupidity
correct
would you
about
trust
that.
this asshole's promises? Jesus, it took less than 15 seconds for his men to prove why she shouldn't have trusted them. And where the f is Tarzan right now? Hey, Tarzan, while you're listening to with dead ants in your shoulder, if you'd have stayed put, you probably could have saved Jane by now. How you like them apples, son of actor who was in the movie I'm quoting with the apples thing? Tarzan may have grown up in the jungle, but there's no reason he should have superhuman hearing. Also, if he can hear Jane, shouldn't he be able to hear the 1,000 other jungle sounds going on in between them? And here is where the animated Disney Tarzan merges with this supposed live-action version. Told you he'd save her from this crap. God, I hate being right about this shit. No fake-ass looking CGI apes were actually harmed in the making of this so-called movie. During this I just saved an ape and oh my god, look at all the dead apes moment, I'd like to point out once again that he has ants in his shoulder instead of stitches. I just beat your ass 15 minutes ago, but now let's be allies and shit. Yes, Sam Jackson's character is still all by himself, and still not yet eaten by any of the animals in this deadly jungle. And yes, that is a random upside-down umbrella in the shot, though I actually have no explanation for that. I guess he's covering ground already covered by Jane and them? I don't know. The umbrella is really weird. This flashback to an African tribal dude shooting an ape is both confusing and confusing. Chime on unsupervised. Damn, I only have a few minutes of screen time here.
Both confusing and
blurry?
confusing.
Wait, I thought all that with the arrow killing the ape was a flashback, but it wasn't. And I'm just like, what the fuck is going on, movie? Do you even know? Bloodless stab killings. This force of hundreds that could easily overwhelm him just stands here watching while he beats their asses one at a time. This only happens in the movies, folks. If this were real, Tarzan is dead and Jane is sold to a crypt keeper in Thailand. Williams, who is anywhere from 40 to 70 years old and doesn't have an army, a boat, a map, skills in animal training, or basically any jungle survivor skills whatsoever, makes it to the final battle on his own. Tarzan gets his ass kicked again, which shouldn't happen twice in a Tarzan movie.
Your son killed the only person who ever cared about me.
Oh, so it was kind of a flashback at some point there, but I really stopped caring, so can we please get on with it?
My son was just a boy. Not like you. Where was your honor?
Jaimon doesn't know he's in the movie, so he just keeps acting the f out of his scenes. One sin off. Rise of the Planet of the Ex Machina. Didn't he just get speared in the kidney? They literally go from fighting these guys to instantly talking them into joining the anti-rom cause. Because this movie is almost 2 hours long, but still felt the need to stretch out the boring and speed up the interesting Remember back when the English children were fawning over a chance to feel Tarzan's bulbous hands? That feels extra pointless right now that we are racing through the climax. Fakeness. Row upon row of tent-based fakeness.
Where you going?
Get some friends.
Because I was an adopted ape once, all the creatures of Africa love and respect and follow me. A guy with a gun and a screaming gorilla will now herd stampeding wildebeest, because of course they will. Tarzan is running about 50 miles an hour right now. Someone should show him how to fire that gun. The running of the wildebeest.
1886 model Maxim machine gun.
How the f do you know? Oh, god damn it, just end. I give this movie the quadruple bird. That's both middle fingers and both middle toes. Everyone survives this? Okay, he saved his lady. The evil men are leaving. So, is Tarzan motivated purely by revenge at this point? Does he really need to kill Rom before he can find peace? He does this instead of reaching up and breaking the line or breaking the f***ing boat. Tarzan is strong and almost a superhero, but he's dumber than a box of rocks. Yeah, I can do that. My neck is that strong. I just waited a while to do it to build suspense and At least 6 crocs feeding on Rom and yet still no blood. That's weird, right? Movie wants you to think Tarzan was still on the ship when it blew up, but this is a movie mere moments from the end. So if you have half a brain, you're just annoyed by this bullshit stalling tactic. What did I tell you, huh? This is paint by numbers movie making, folks. Have you ever seen a movie before? Even just one? Then you could have made this movie.
We have witnesses, documents, letters, and official records and enslavement of the Congolese people.
And the King of Belgium agreed with the open letter, and no atrocities happened to the Congolese people ever again. It's pretty much never a good sign when a movie that is 10 minutes from ending, including credits, gives you a 1 year later title card. It's the very definition of not necessary. Ah, they're doing the having a baby dance. Jane had a baby, and that was totally worth the tacked on 1 year later bullshit, right?
This movie was diggity dog shit, and I didn't even see it. Alright, so that movie, I didn't even see the movie, but like I said, I'm a big fan of the Tarzan, actual, cartoon movie. And I can tell you right now, the reason why I did not see it, like I said before, was because I could tell that it wasn't following the script. It was so confusing. Tarzan, it was very easy to make this movie. All you had to do was just make freaking a whole bunch of apes, raise freaking, Tarzan. Tarzan fights a fucking cheetah. He takes on, Jane and do a whole thing. The whole movie, the action movie is a human fighting beast, like freaking cheetahs and apes. That could have been cool. Everybody would have loved it. We'd been like, Tarzan, Tarzan. Now everybody's like, what the fuck shit movie is that? Beauty and the Beast, here we go. But you know what it is. If you like this movie, hit like. If you want to subscribe, subscribe. If you want to share, share. Other than that, peace.